pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and their Southern California rivals, the Los Angeles Rams. The regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Set, ready? 60 outlaw. Check, check. Block 54. Block 54. I'm coming. I'm coming. Check 9. Check 9. Hey, Sam off.
Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
Ready,
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Man, that's trash. That's trash. Check 3. Check 3. Check 3. Check 24. Check 24. Topper. Twist. Look at me. Go. Lee Griffin.
They run it with Ballage. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks, and here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here we go. 10, touchdown. Tight right. 4 down.
On first down, Armstrong. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's a 2nd and 7. Flush to his right. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Move. Even. 4 down. Even.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
We got three, fellas, we got three.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Check safety, check safety. Check three, check three. Check three, check three, check three. Hot seven, hot seven. 56 is the mic. 56 is the mic. I got you, boy. I got you.
2nd and 9 now. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Now this time he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down L.A.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Shift, shift. Check 37, check 37. Mike 56, Mike set. Let's go.
Here's 2nd and 8.
56. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now he's flushed out right. And he's going to go down again. Jerry Tillery able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Let's go.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Charger drive about to get going. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, Charlie. Ready?
2nd and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're going to look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Jerry Tillery in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Tillery, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taken in at the 22. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Check 43. Switch.
They'll start with a give here to Balaj. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Check 13. Check 13. Leo.
To throw on 2nd down. Herbert, they'll set up the screen to Balaj. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd.
He's checking
Operating from the gun. Herbert. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
The Rams take over 3rd down at their own 12-yard line.
The Rams offense ready for their drive here against their L.A. brethren. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Uchenna Nwosu got the sack there. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Watch the run.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And able to find Higbee. It's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, They just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Single. I got it.
2nd and 11. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 28 yards there and given the first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Buddy up. 6, Mike, 56. That's what I do. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Watch the run.
Here we go on 2nd and 12.
Get ready.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
49.
Now back to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back to throw. Pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And his kick here is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me...
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off right around the 43 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here we go. Get the flag. Single. Watch 88. Watch 88. Cut his left.
They'll drop to throw. That'll be taken in by Anderson. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Trump. 49's a mic. 49's a mic. Let's put him on the buses.
They'll look to throw again. Open man is Anderson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is indeed good. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the 2nd half gets started. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Rams offense ready for their drive here against their L.A. brethren. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
That'd be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 34-yard line.
On the ready.
The Charger drive about to get going. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
X3, 218, chop. Hey, Sean. He's coming. Now.
Again, it's Balaj. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here we go. 8 read. Let's make these babies cry. 61, matchbox lights. Let's make these babies cry. Watch out. Mike 5.
From the gun on third down. Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for L.A. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And now he's going to use his legs. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Second and 4. Flushed out right. And his throw is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down.
Move. Hey, 4 down.
They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Looking to throw on second down. Herbert. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Hey, wahoo! Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Slay, Sam on. Get it.
Off play action. Herbert. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Leonard Floyd able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
A gain there of 21 yards. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Now Balaj. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Yo, faster. Shoot.
From the gun. Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 5. Then he'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Rams offense ready for their drive here against their L.A. brethren. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, LA! A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. And the formula there on the 2-point try, they go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The Charger drive about to get going. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Chargers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
57. Mike, 57. Here we go. 57.
Operating from the gun. Herbert will find his tight end. That's Waller. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
First down, Chargers.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Balazs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 36-yard line.
Mike, 57. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Looking to throw. Herbert looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Chargers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Rams offense ready for their drive here against their L.A. brethren. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 2nd down now, Akers. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Looking to throw. And Anderson's got it. And they stop him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Hey, orbit.
2nd and 1. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Okay, partner, hyperbole alert, all right? I think that this has got to be the best game I've seen this secondary play this entire season. Doesn't matter whether they've been a man, zone, they've reacted, communicated, and really made plays on the football.
They absolutely have. And the play on that last deep ball, maybe the best example of it, they've been solid all game long. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Ready, ready. 60 or. Back. Switch. Topper. Bang. Go.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Keller. 30. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense ready for their drive here against their L.A. brethren. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense, great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Watch safety creep. Rock it. Check 3.
Balaj. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Operating from the gun, Herbert. And this one complete to Reed. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now left side on the swing pass. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Ready, break.
The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out? And it's a fumble. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Key to tight end.
And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Watch 88. Over. Defense wins championships, baby. Check safety.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Check three.
Second and 10. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Pick the edge. Go. Shift. Mike's 49.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Found his target. It's Anderson. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They're going to look to throw. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Mike Williams, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams tack on to their advantage.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Extra point up and through. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone,
and now here's another interception. Picked off around the 41. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So the L.A. Rams with a victory here, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Rams, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more pesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, I make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet points and guard.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me, cause I blame she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him. Hey, hey.